In the 1960s, Professor Jose Delgado took a normally hostile bull and implanted electrodes into its brain. Electrodes that could be activated by a radio transmitter. His objective was to see if stimulation of the bull's midbrain could short-circuit the rage signals, stopping the bull before it reached the matador. After the bull had recovered from the implantation and in mid-charge, the button was pressed. The bull's aggression ceased instantly. A clearer experiment was performed with cats. In this classic example, the hypothalamus, the rhythm maker, was implanted with electrodes. Could it be responsible not just for rhythms, but also for rage? The switch is turned. Then the switch is turned off. So indeed, the hypothalamus does control certain types of aggression.
We cannot continue to rely only on our military in order to achieve the national security objectives that we've set. We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well funded.
It says your kids are going to have to go serve the government. Youth brigades, tattletale squads. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
You will always have a special place in my heart and in the New World Order. I'm getting presents in the New World Order.
World government is only a means to an end. They want to also create World War III, global conflict to create the fear. They unfreeze societies with crisis and fear because societies are normally rigid. People like the status quo. But they say it's a danger because...
Suspicious aspect of the attack is the collapse of Building 7. This was a 47-story building with a steel frame. It was not hit by an airplane. It was across the street from the towers. Late in the afternoon, this building collapsed. The U.S. government investigated the collapse of this building. After 7 months of investigating, their conclusion was that they have no idea why the building collapsed. A few months later, the landlord of Building 7, Larry Silverstein, announced on television that the fire department demolished Building 7. The government and the news reporters should have demanded that both Silverstein and the fire department explain what happened to Building 7, but nobody asked any questions. The collapse of Building 7 is identical to the collapse of buildings that are brought down with explosives. The explosives shatter the joints that hold the building together, and the building falls down at free fall speed. Dust is produced at the base in the building. There is a tremendous amount of evidence that the government was involved in the September 11 attack. We could spend days discussing all of it. Some of what we tell you is speculation, but some of it is scientific fact, and you cannot disagree with it. For example, pieces of a building cannot crash through steel and concrete floors those towers collapsed in less than 10 seconds is proof that explosives had been used. Building 7 also collapsed in a manner that can only be explained by the use of explosives. This is why the government says they do not know why Building 7 collapsed. Anybody who looks at this evidence and continues to insist that the government was not involved in the September 11 attack is simply having a difficult time facing the possibility that the government could commit such a crime.
Your cash, your house, your phone, your life, your cash, your house. We want your soul.
It really is a time when all of us have got to start talking louder than ever.
The engineered implosion of the economy.
The rapid speed of, if you like, globalization.
And now they're going to leave us holding the entire bag, not to bail them out, but to get us into greater debt.
This manipulation now, quite blatant, of the financial markets is taking us in that direction of a world government, world army, world central bank, world currency, world microchip population.
Take credit, take insurance, take a loan, get a job, get a pension, get a haircut, get a suit.
The important thing is to know where they want to take us.
They have to destroy the dollar, destroy the pound, destroy the old order, while they've been building the new world order, this technological enslavement system.
The FBI is taking on $1 billion project to gather fingerprints, palm patterns, even digital pictures of faces. Eventually, it could expand to include iris patterns, face shape patterns, scars, even information about how you walk and talk. It's called biometrics.
Hi, this is Joe Biden. Can a microscopic tag be implanted in a person's body to track his every movement? There's actual discussion about that. You will rule on that. Mark my words. The New World Order.
This is the agenda I have set before my fellow prisoners.
Even the Albuquerque Examiner has the headline, Rahm Emanuel wants compulsory service for your kids.
Our first speaker is Congressman Rahm Emanuel.
Compulsory then? Well, you have to, it says it's required of everybody, 18 to 25, 3 months, and at some point at that point you do it.
That's on the Obama website now.
We cannot continue to rely only on our military in order to achieve the national security objectives that we've set. We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well funded.
It says your kids are going to have to go serve the government. Youth brigades, tattletale squads. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
You will always have a special place in my heart and in the New World Order.
I'm getting presents in the New World Order!
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. With each other. 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 Yes, we can. With each other.
I think after 9/11, my friends, instead of telling people to go shopping or take a trip, we should have told Americans to join the Peace Corps, AmeriCorps, the military, expand our volunteers.
If it's bad now, what is it going to be like for our children and our grandchildren?